If you're applying for the first home buyers grant, make sure you don't do these 3 things. Because if you're counting on the grant to make settlement funds, and if you filled in the forms incorrectly, you may be in for penalty interest for late settlement charges. So number 1, make sure you fill in the right form. It seems pretty obvious, but take a look. This is one example of a first homeowner grant form, and this is another version of the first homeowner
There's
grant
basically
form.
a lot of these forms floating around if you're Googling for it, but I do suggest you go to this website,
which is revenue.newsouthwales.gov.au. There you'll find the latest forms for first home buyer and stamp duty exemption schemes. Also, you got to check when did you purchase that property. Now we're in 2022, it's unlikely you purchased property before 2012. But still, make sure to check your contract.
Number 2, if you're buying off the plan property, and most of my clients forget to do this, is
if you're processing your loan through a bank or broker, you need to grab a statement from the vendor's solicitor stating that the property is brand new and never been lived in before. You can simply email your agent or ask your conveyancer for this. But please take note, the vendor's solicitor can sometimes be really slow, so ask for this in advance.
And number 3, if your spouse has purchased the property before, you may be not eligible for the first homeowner's grant. And please don't try to bullshit them because they'll find out and fine you. And I know a lot of you will be saying, dude, the first homeowner grant is so simple to fill in. How could anyone get it wrong? This is a real classic example of a client of mine.
So we submitted their off-the-plan purchase to a major bank. They obtained a pre-approval. Now it's time for settlement. As you can see, there's a lot of outstandings. The client is a PR, permanent resident. In certain parts, they ticked the form wrong. Because we don't fill the forms for the client for legal reasons, we had to guide the client to fill the form correctly.
And settlement is in 2 weeks. So don't leave it to the last minute. So